A diagnostic test can be scientifically brilliant and commercially dead, and it happens constantly. Not because the science failed, because the company mistook scientific progress for commercial readiness, and they're not the same thing. A diagnostic company is actually building three things at once. The first is the analytical product, and this is where you ask if the test measures things accurately and is reliable. The second thing is the clinical product. Does the result of this test lead to something useful? Can it be used in clinical setting? Does the result mean something useful for a defined patient and a defined decision? The third is the commercial product. Can the system order it, run it, and pay for it? And on top of all that, act on it without creating chaos. So most startups nail the first one. Some get the second. Very few build the third. And unfortunately, the third one is what kills them. Then comes what founders call reimbursement, as if it's one thing. The reality is it's three. A CPT code that describes what the service is, coverage, which means that an insurer is willing to pay for it, and then payment, which is the amount that they agreed to pay for it, and it has to make sense for the company to be able to survive. So having a code doesn't guarantee coverage, and coverage does not guarantee you're gonna get paid a specific amount. And finally, payment does not guarantee that there's a workflow that can exist for something like this to actually work. And this is where pilots hit the graveyard. You know, the technology performed, but there's no pathway around. So it's very important for founders and people building in this space to realize that at the end of the day, you're building something for a market. And for that thing to get to work, someone has to be willing to pay for it. Now, whether it's out of pocket or insurance based, that's really going to depend on the business model that you're going after. And don't lie to yourself. You have to build with people cutting the check in mind, because if they don't cut the check, your product is not going to get to the people you want to help. The strongest diagnostic companies do not only build a test, they build an entire decision pathway around that, because detection without a next step is not a healthcare product. It's simply information looking for an owner. So before you invest or build in a diagnostic company or a product, you have to map your pathway from sample to action. And if you can't draw that pathway on a simple whiteboard, news for you, the product is not ready for market now, no matter how great the science behind it is. Cheers.